presidents this year.
Am I starting?
You are starting, please, sir. Mr. Jacob, please start the video. Thanks. Good evening. We're going to call the August 11th meeting to order at 6:18 p.m. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes from the July meeting and had an opportunity to cruise through them. Do I have any questions regarding those meeting minutes? I'm going to make a motion to get those meeting minutes approved. May I get a first? And first. May I get a second? Second. Dabney seconds. Do I have any against? Do I have any for? Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to go over a couple of things. It's going to be pretty simple for me. We're going to keep this kind of timely tonight, so I just want you guys to know. So it's really important what we communicate with students. Communication is always key. The students are required to bring a pencil to band every day. They must pre-plan appointments. So if you have an orthodontist appointment and you know it's coming up, please notify Mr. Salinas within 2 weeks prior to your appointment, latest 2 weeks. If you're planning a cruise, we ask that you please reach out and look at that band calendar, which is currently populated past spring break, and those dates are pretty set right now. I just want you guys to know that. So we do ask that you pre-plan appointments and be proactive with communication. We also ask that our students learn to be financially savvy with their Charms account. They are young adults. We're sending them out in the world in 4 years, so we do ask them to participate in that with you. That is very important with what will happen later on this evening when we talk about this trip to New York City. We ask that the students have a no drama policy. We've already addressed this with the students twice this week and once last week. We do not tolerate bullying in any way, shape, or form. We do not tolerate gossiping in any way, shape, or form. And this applies to the parents as well. If there's any questions or problems or your student is currently having one of those issues, I ask you to please escalate it to Mr. Salinas. We do have a 3 before me rule. We ask that they take it directly to their student section leader. Then from the section leader, they can go to their rookie mentor. Then they can head on to their leadership, which is going to be their drum major or their band captain. If they still have no resolution, it goes directly to Mr. Salinas. If you as a parent are feeling that you are being bullied or you are being harassed, I ask that you please reach out to Ms. Allison and I, and we will resolve the issue immediately. It is not tolerated in this program at the adult or the student level. Again, we ask that we communicate clearly. We are all volunteers. Sometimes we're not the best, and we all have lives too, so if we're forgetting something, please don't hesitate to reach out and say, hey, but you said. We're totally fallible, and we will absolutely make sure we get information out there. We utilize the band app for communication. It's going to go off 10,000 times because this is the busiest season. Please don't turn it off. I do have your notifications turned off. They automatically will not bing your phone from 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. So you will be able to get a good night's sleep. That is an automatic for that, just so you're aware. So please keep that notification on because that is how we communicate with you. Our volunteers are essential. This entire program is a small business. We run about $300,000 through this program on any given year, and we continue to increase that year over year. So we are a small business, and small business requires volunteers to run. So we truly need y'all's help with this. So we are truly a family organization. We love having new members. We love being able to hang out with new people, and we love to just hang out even after band. You will find over the course of 4 years that you as parents have made amazing friends like Miss Ann, who's there in the back. She graduated last year. Miss Greg, Miss Heather, all of us. We love hanging out and going to do stuff, play trivia, whatever. Get together on the beach. We would like you to attend parent meetings. It's very important. That's how you're going to get your information. We have a very large trip coming up to New York City, if you hadn't heard me say that before. So we definitely need you to come to parent meetings so we can talk about that. We also utilize Charms. Charms in this band is specific for only 2 things. Miss Elizabeth, if you could please raise your hand. Miss Elizabeth is our secretary. She will send you communications out. That's how your mass emails and texts come from. If you have a question about your financial statement, you'll look on Charms. Miss Amy, where'd you go, Miss Amy? Miss Amy, she's our treasurer. So if you have questions about your student's account, you'll look on Charms and talk to Miss Amy. Again, no drama. And Miss Melody and Miss Gabby, if you could please raise your hands. This is our amazing fundraising team. We cannot have this program without these ladies. And Miss Danette, where are you? Miss Annette is our volunteer coordinator. We cannot do it without any of these folks up here. So, just real quickly, talk about that. Before I hand the microphone over to Miss Annette, does anyone have any questions about what I just said? No? Cool. Okay. As Miss Annette's coming down, I'm just going to walk over here real fast. Over here, you're going to notice that we do have a competition. This is a traditional uniform. Your students will wear this traditional uniform on Friday night football games. This uniform will never come home. Okay? Unless you're on the uniform washing or repair team, which we strongly encourage you to be. It's stinky uniforms, but a little wash and a little love, they go a long way. This Shaco will never go home. It is missing its plume at the moment. I'm sorry, my little guy's underdressed. Would you like the microphone, Miss Annette? And when Miss Annette's done, we'll talk about some more stuff.
Yay.
Okay, so this is Miss.
That's my info if you need to get in touch with me.
I encourage you to take a screenshot.
If I do not answer, if you text me and I don't answer, it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's that I'm at school. Okay, all right. Okay. Here we go. How can I volunteer? Check on Band app. There are plenty of ways you can volunteer. I am constantly asking for people to help in any way, shape, or form. We all work, we all have lives, we all have kids, we all have everything going on. It is a team effort. Nobody can do it alone. There are plenty of ways you can volunteer. Don't be shy. So, when my graduating student started, I was shy. I, dipped my toes in the water and volunteered here and there. So, and that's fine. And so, we all, we work together to make it happen. This band program cannot function without all of us. Plenty of opportunities available. Concessions is a great big one that's going to be coming up. There's card sales going on right now. The card sales do go towards your fair share. So be sure to check those out. Those are through Sign Up Genius because they're easier to track that way. The links are in the Band app. That's what I'm saying. Check the Band app. They're always there. You find the signups in the Band app. I hashtag everything. So, not on social media, but on the Band app I do. So it'll say hashtag card sales if that's what you're looking for. Hashtag dog wash. Hashtag fundraising. Hashtag football games. So you'll find them in the Band app. Every once in a while, we do put them in events on the Band app, but they do tend to get lost. So I won't do them as much in there. No, you are not required to volunteer, but we just love it if you do. We appreciate you. And hey, that's how you get to meet a lot of awesome people. A lot of the other band parents who have something in common. We're all band parents. So you're not required. We just really, 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 really appreciate it. Yes, you have to have a background check. The link is somewhere there. You can go to DCPS and find it in there. So, and it's up there as well. It's also in something else that we've sent home like 5 times. So, it's on Band app. Okay, so that's that. Flip that. Flip that. Is there anything else I missed? Okay, those are all your opportunities, and so we will move on to upcoming things. Bus chaperones, there will be 3 per bus. So we'll have 2 buses, so that's 6 total. You'll ride the bus, you'll meet here, you'll ride the bus to, it's Mandarin on the 25th. So you're gonna ride the bus to there, stay with the kids, and make sure everybody's safe and not running around and making good choices. And then you will ride the bus back with them. Is that for? Show and tell. Oh, okay, that's for the home games. She just really wanted to put on the bright vest and use the flashlight. Okay, so for home football games, we need more. We need concessions, we need traffic, which you get to wear such this lovely outfit. Stylish. Very, very stylish. And you get to play with the flashlight thingy. And
yell at traffic.
And you get to yell at traffic and make sure nobody runs over the kids. So there's traffic and first aid and just making sure the kids are safe for uniforms. Also, and again, and those are the home games, and then we have another away game. There is a date that's not up here, and I need everybody to just be available to be here. Does anybody know that date? That would have been a really good trivia. Does anybody know that date that I'm talking about?
November 4th.
November 4th. November 4th. That we need all hands on deck for anything, everything, brothers, sisters, whoever is in town to come help. That is NPA. We are hosting that.
What's NPA?
That is marching performance assessment. The kids are not competing against anyone but themselves, basically. They are getting a rating. Superior being the highest and all that fun stuff. But we are hosting it. That is a huge moneymaker for us. It's for the whole district. Other schools will be coming. It is a wonderful but busy event. So please, please, please just know, put it in your head, put it in your calendar now. November 4th, we're gonna need you.
All day.
It's all day event. So there's, I don't know how many bands come to it.
We know that 17 bands come to it. We're in District 17. There's over 20 plus bands in District 17. NPA is the equivalent of taking your state exam. So there's marching, music, performance assessment. So it is their what you would call semester grade. It's the final. It's a final exam for marching.
EOC.
An EOC. And of course exam. We do start at 6 o'clock in the morning, setting things up. We will have different. We do shifts so that we're not burning people out. We start up with the setup crew. Sometimes I can start the night before, and we end up with the cleanup crew. And we have everything in the middle. That includes grilling, it includes garbage, it includes everything. Everything.
Water and just guidance and hospitality and walking bands and
Traffic control.
there's traffic and trailer driving, and it's not the big trailer, so if you don't have a big truck, then it's okay. And so we will get into more details, but I just really need to put a little pin in that. And you know, if you've got friends and family that are willing to help out, then yay! Let's start recruiting. So really need that. If you ever have any questions about what anything entails. Question, I'm sorry, I do not have my glasses on, so I have lots of blurs. I am so sorry, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. It appears that everything's on the app. I know nothing about this app. What do you get to see this band?
The band app? Okay, Miss Allison will hook you up and show you what this is. Okay. Okay.
We'll get you that.
All right, if you need help, if you are not part of the band app and you need to be or want to be, please let one of us know and we will help you in the best way possible. I know sometimes it's a little glitchy with us, so we will definitely get you hooked up because that is where you're going to get all the information you need. For new parents and even parents who have been here a year or two, if you ever have any questions about what a volunteer spot entails, like, okay, what is uniforms? What is first aid? What do I have to do? Please, 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 please ask. You can always message somebody privately. So if you don't want to like put it out there for everybody to see, but guaranteed somebody else has probably got the same question as you. So please do not hesitate to ask. That's the way we learn. That's the way we grow. I don't bite, I promise. Even after a long day with my little munchkins, I am still, I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. Ask any of the board members. We are here to help you. So, like I said, it takes a village, and we are that village. So, any other questions for me? Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Nutt. Next up is our fundraising committee, Ms. Melody and Ms. Abby. While they're working their way up, I do want to show you what will come home with your student at the end of the year. This uniform is 2 years old, so this is not what your student is wearing this year, but it is this style. So what you're going to notice is it has a hip cape, it does not have arms, it has a shoulder, almost gauntlet looking thing. So your student's going to wear this and the black bibbers, okay? They're also going to wear the dimples, details, gloves are dependent upon section as to how they are treated. So I'm going to give this to Miss Melody and to Miss Daphne. Thank you.
Hi guys. So first up we have so right now we're in the middle of business partners. If you guys know anybody that owns a business, we have several people in here that have already signed up. But this form is on Band app, it's on our website, yeah, FHSBand.com. But you can go around, anything you get, say you get a silver sponsor, which is $500. $250 goes directly into your child's account. $250 goes to the band for a general fund. There's several different levels, but this is what we have going on right now. Also, next up,
Okay, if you aren't on the band app yet, you haven't heard about this probably, but we have this opportunity to do a survey fundraiser where this company, 100X, is a big company data, that's what they do. They get big data for companies, big consumer survey data. And so what they do is they work with nonprofit organizations so that we provide them an audience of people who can give consumer feedback, and they take and put that data together, and that is their product that they sell to Target, Little Debbie, Spirit Airlines, whatever. There's 1,000 different companies and products that are on this system. There are a couple of ways to sign up for this, and let me tell you how this works. We use this to help families pay their fair share. So every time somebody does one of those surveys, it takes 30 to 60 seconds. We get credit of $1.20. Each person who signs up for it can do up to 75 surveys, or I'm sorry, $1.60. Can sign up for, do up to 75 surveys. That means each person that does it can earn up to $120. If you send us an email address, and when they register, they have to check, yes, they're gonna give their email address to the company, because otherwise we don't get that piece of data back on the report that they give us. But if they check yes, and you send us their email address at the Fletcher Band fundraising email, then we will take the money earned under that email address and apply it to your student's account. So you can send me up to 5 email addresses, which means that you can earn up to $600 towards your account, and it costs no money. One of the things that people get concerned about with this is that their personal data is going to get sold, and they're very clear that the only reason they collect an email address is so that we can thank you. Some organizations do like a raffle and stuff like that, so they use it for things like that too. But they don't contact you and market to you afterwards. It's simply so that we can send something out and say thank you very much for supporting the Fletcher High Band. So if you have any questions about that, that is the #1 way, and it ends on September 5th. So we've got about 3 weeks left to do it. That's the #1 way to pay almost all of your marching season fair share or bank money towards next year. Okay, what's next? We said we were going to take her.
okay. So up next we are doing discount cards again. So you will have to, you can come up here to the table. You can check out the cards. You have to be responsible for them this year. We've changed it a little bit. You can check out 10 at a time. Whatever cards you do not bring back, that money will be charged to your fair share. You can return the cards if you don't sell any, bring them all back. But if you don't bring any back, if you didn't sell any, you didn't give us any money, you're going to be responsible for that. So with these are $10. $5 goes to the band member's account, and $5 goes into our general fund.
What's the best deal on this?
Smoothies.
Buy
one,
get
get one
free,
free
tropical
smoothie.
Every time you go in for a year.
Yep, and then you get $10 off at Ace. It sells itself.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, $10 off at Pet Supplies Plus. So for $10, you're already just might as well.
So you can check them out and sell them, or
Yes. Or you can sign up.
You're welcome.
See? This is why we do this together.
Yeah.
Or you can sign up on the Band app to sell them at several different places. We're doing Ace Hardware, doing Publix. We will do Pet Supplies Plus, and we're probably going to add some more places. But that has also been a great money maker. I think last weekend we sold 53 cards. So altogether, that was like $100 for each child that worked it. They will do them in 2 shifts. It is a 9 to 12 and a 12 to 3, I think, for most places. And so it's 2 children and 1 adult has to be there as a sponsor because the kids are not allowed to hold cash and use the square. But other than that, so you go into the band app and you sign up.
Yeah.
What happens if you're volunteering and people just donate money but don't buy a card?
That's a good question. So the way that we parse that out is this is 50-50. Donations go 100% to the kids. So we sold 53 cards, which was $530. So amongst the 4 kids, they split 200 and whatever that is, 65. And then they got $100 and something worth of donations, and all $100 worth of donations was split amongst the 4 kids. So each kid earned about $100 in 3 hours, which is a pretty good hourly rate for a high schooler, right?
More than I make.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
What's next? Oh, I'll do this. I'll do this. Okay, I assume we're gonna put this presentation on the band. Okay, so all this information will be available later. We use a system called GiveButter. If you're one of the people who paid your fair share already electronically, you used GiveButter. But if you are a new band member or a band family, or you didn't set up for a GiveButter account last year, you really need to sign up for a GiveButter account. This is how we post, like we'll do a popcorn sale. We're gonna talk about a sponsorship drive that's coming up in a little bit, and that's how we do our online fundraisers is through this site called GiveButter. It's really important. If you sign up for it with your email address, it's gonna pull up your name. So you wanna go into the profile and change the name to your kid's name because nobody wants to donate money to Dabney, but they might wanna donate money to Reed or Owen. And you also wanna put the most adorable picture you can find of your child up there on the site so that grandma whoever in Connecticut knows that which kid they're sending money to or they're buying something from or whatever. So this is the site that we do most of our fundraisers on. And the one that we're going to start in September is called Band Together. So if somebody does not want to do surveys, they do not want to buy a discount card, they say, let me just give you money. This is how they do it. So Band Together is a sponsorship drive, and really it's just somebody can give $1, $10, $500 to your kid. If somebody says that they want to support your kid, you can post the link online, and all of the money that is raised through the sponsorship drive comes directly to your kid. So if you've done things like fund runs or whatever the football team does one, this is just a sponsorship drive. So if somebody wants to donate money to your Band Kids account. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll get more details about that, but this will be the entire month of September. So all of August you can do surveys. All of September we are going to do this. So there's lots of opportunities to raise money for your account.
If you have not ever signed up for Charms, if you have not registered with an account, you will need to follow these steps. One of the biggest things to understand is that you will need to use your child's email address that you provided to us when you first registered your student. That's very important to know. If you use your email address, it may not get to you, and we can help you with that. I'm just going to go over this very, very briefly because we are running out of time. This is an example of a statement that you'll see in Charms. They will also be emailed to you. It shows how much of the fair share or whatever the fixed payments are. If you have success kit, shoes, anything else, that will show up there as well. And at the very top where it says miscellaneous balance credit, the student has a credit of $333.50. That's just what's basically sitting in their account at this moment in time. This is a miscellaneous total, kind of like a check total, if you're familiar with how that works. Excuse me? It did. It did. That's just the bottom of it. So it's a little hard to read. I'm always available to answer any questions about the statement. Sometimes it's kind of tricky to tell what's what on there. Please reach out to me anytime by email or come find me at a meeting or after practice. Are there any questions about Charms? I know I went over that kind of fast, but I'm happy to get more in depth later.
Does anybody have any questions for our treasurer?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Amy. Very briefly, before we get ready to go outside, I am going to ask, if I have not seen you or you haven't met me or you have not had an opportunity to talk to any of our board members and your student has not turned in their membership registration, I'm going to tell you why this is really important. It has their health information on it, so it lets me know if we have an emergency and I'm talking to an EMT, I can let them know their birth date, that they're allergic to penicillin, that they can't have peanut butter, which might be indicative of another drug that they might be allergic to. So it's super important that you fill out that membership registration form. It is also online. I have links to it on FletcherBand.com, and I have links to it on the Band app. We're going to put a pin in this for now and start working our way outside. Oh, nope, we're not? Okay, my apologies. We are not doing that, so we're just going to keep on moving.
We're going to go to cafeteria.
Oh, we're raining. We have rain.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so we're just going to head to the cafeteria. You are welcome to leave your items in here. We will be shutting the door and it will be locked. So if you'd like to take them with you, you are.
It's going to be 2 minutes.
Okay. Woo! Okay, hang on. 10 minutes. The kids are moving inside. My apologies. 10 minutes. Just take a seat, and we're going to keep on moving with this meeting. Once I get to go ahead, we'll move you guys over to the cafeteria. So I'm going to keep on cruising here. So don't leave quite yet, please. I'm going to talk about some guard items that your student's going to need. If you have a guard student, we talked about marching unders and we talked about guard unders, which is essentially important underwear that your student needs to wear. A body stocking. All right, we're waiting just a few minutes before we move to the cafeteria, so you can please wait. So if I can please have your attention one more time.
Just gonna start throwing a flip-flop, y'all.
A body stocking is something that you're going to need for your guard student. And if you cannot hear me, I need you to please be quiet. If it touches your student's skin, you must purchase it out of your own pocket. That's where your additional fees come. As a freshman parent, it becomes very expensive. I know I've got 2 kids that have gone through the band program. We do understand this. We do try and help everybody out. Guard students also use a particular kind of glove with a padded palm. It does have leather on it. These are washable, so don't let your kids take these off like they're surgical gloves and they can be thrown away. Okay? These can be washed in the washing machine and air dried. Your students during marching season will do a jazz shoe. Again, this comes out of your personal account. You can put this towards your Charms account as well. Sometimes they're black, sometimes they're tan. I do want you to understand that a guard uniform is form-fitting for your student. This is last year's marching guard show uniform. This was for both the ladies and the gentlemen, was slightly different. It looks very small, but this fits a very big kid. This is why we encourage you to have an under uniform so it can't be seen.
And they don't get scratches from the sequin.
They don't get scratches from sequins, and there's no shaking. And I'm going to take this over to Mr. Sampson, who is our guard director, and he can talk further about guard.
How many guard parents do I have in here right now? Okay, so sorry, band parents. Guard parents, the $75. We're going to talk about that real quick. So the $75 initial fee that is for the success kit for guard is they will get their own personalized bag for their equipment. It will have their name on it. It will have the logo, and this is for them for all 4 years. Hopefully they don't treat it like their backpacks and start throwing it everywhere, so that way it can last for 4 years. If in the event that it gets damaged to where there's a hole and they need to get a new one, sorry, it's gonna have to be a new one purchased. So tell them to go mow along. In regards to their success kit, they will also get a pole with stoppers, bolts, and a flag. They will not get this flag or any show flag. They will get a solid silk. That is to go home and stay home. That does not come to the school. That is their personalized practice flag at home. That way they don't have to keep toting a flag back and forth, okay? And that should last them at least 4 years, if not over a decade. Unless they really beat it up or a car runs over it and dents it and all that. This is a rifle that we will use if your child will be spinning a rifle. This is an additional expense. Right now the King rifles, I believe, are at $55 for a 36 inch. We spent 36 inches here. Other groups spend 39, so we will let you know in advance. Again, fundraising is a great opportunity to help yourself with those costs. So the more that you can get, the better off you will be. The saber, currently we're using the DSI Excaliburs. The Excaliburs are $130. I would like to eventually switch from the DSIs into the King Sabers. The King Sabers are $230. So, those are additional expenses. I will stick to DSIs until I get to a position to where I can help out with the cost of our King Sabers. Swing flags. This individual flag. Now, when we talk about the rental fee, hey, why is my guard kid being charged $50 for rental? Okay? This swing flag alone cost me $60. Just the flag. The pole is an additional $10. The other pole that you see is $15. The silk itself is $30. If a silk gets ripped, who has to replace it? We do. So we don't add that additional cost to the student. We have a rental fee that basically supplements those expenses. Yes, I have silks that have ripped already. Whether they're practice silks that we use, so I'm a little bit different than some other guards around town. I have a whole other set of practice silks, that way our show silks do not get ripped. But I have to continue to replenish them. My poles, some of them, I want to say a good 40 of them right now, are scratched up, dented, have been beaten, they've hit the ground, they've hit someone. So some of those have to get replaced. So luckily we were able to purchase a good amount of poles for the success of the organization and a good amount of practice silks. So we're kind of set for probably the next 5 years without having to really buy anything major on equipment. The only things that would be anything major would be any saber or a rifle that would come into play. Okay? Oh, yeah, that's my information. If you need to get a hold of me. Okay? If everybody has Facebook Messenger is pretty much easier for me. So just message me there. I have 4 emails for 4 different organizations, so it takes me some time to get to you. If there's something important, when you're talking about, I have a vacation planned, please let us know well in advance. Like, if you know that if you're going to be out of town for Thanksgiving and we're leaving a week early, we're going to take 2 weeks just because, let me know. That way I don't have to worry about how am I going to plan my rehearsal for indoor season. Same thing when it comes down to outdoor season. Just let Mr. Salinas know. If you include him on any communication, I'll get the information. Oh, so-and-so is not going to be here. we're pretty flexible when it comes down to those things. But hey, I'm not going to be there tomorrow because we're going on a cruise. Well, what? Because however many members I have to adjust my schedule just for that one person. And I have to go back and revisit, where I could have just said, you know what? If I have 3 people going away out of, let's say that I have 10 people in guard, 3 people are out for indoor, I can say, you know what, we're going to cancel this rehearsal. I already know in advance. I can move that rehearsal or cancel it entirely so that way all the kids can have their time. Because then I have to go back for those 3 kids. It takes hours to get them up to par. Okay? Is there anything else specific? Again, the success kit should be a one-time purchase. Should be. So let's just hope that. Same thing with the gloves. The gloves should be a one-time purchase. The tights, one maybe every 2 years. Shoes, depending on the style, if it's going to be tan or if it's going to be black, will be determined on their show. I won't force them to buy any shoes until I know for sure what our uniforms are going to look like. Yes?
Do all guard have to have a rifle or a saber?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not unless they are going on the line. I will have everybody go on the line, just so you know. If your child is not spinning a rifle or a saber right now, they will in the next year. Okay, but I'm not going to put that on everybody this time around. But everybody will be spinning flag. But you'll know in advance, and we can make those things arrange those things to make that happen. Anything else guard related? Oh, Fight for indoor season. They have their own. Oh, I can talk about that too. So Fight has they have their Adidas pants that they would wear when we go out to competitions. They would use those. We also do have an additional cost in indoor season, just so if you were going to prepare for that mentally and financially, is we have specific members only jackets and backpacks. That is also a separate cost, and usually I'll ask them to go up a size to make sure that they're covered for the years that they're with us. And yeah, they are used during football season. My bad, I forgot.
If your kid's in percussion, go ahead and plan on going out and buying them a pair of 3-stripe Adidas.
Or Amazon Prime it.
Sooner than later, because they will come to you at some point and say, I need these tomorrow. Costco or Kohl's? Costco does not have them right this minute, but Kohl's have.
But I will say, I'm just going to add this in here. That one with the survey thing, if you do enough of it, like I would actually invite the family over to have like a little party of filling out a survey. So that way you can raise pretty much your fair share within one night. Like 3.
You have the 25 a day, so it's over 3 days.
Oh, it's 25 a day, that's right.
Yeah, but times 5, that's...
Okay, so 3 weekends, hang out at the beach and say, okay, we're gonna fill out a survey. So 3 weekends, get that going. Okay, cool. So any other questions, let me know, bye.
Thank you, Samson. All right, there's unfortunately a thunderstorm happening outside and the children are in the process of moving in. So I am going to wrap this up. I just have a quick little information for you, except Mr. Salinas is going to interrupt me. So I am going to let you know that Mr. Salinas has a bunch of slides. Click. I'm so sorry. Mr. Salinas has a bunch of slides. I'm going to hand this over to Miss Allison while I'm clicking away, and she is going to talk to you guys about just the odds and ends and some Honor Society information. How about I handle the Honor Society? All right. So in this program, we do offer 2 Honor Societies, and both of these are new to us. So the very first one is Pageantry Arts Honor Society, and I'm so sorry, I just clicked past it. I told you guys all about it. So it is specific to high school color guard members. Last year was the inaugural year. What does that mean for you? It means that your kid can earn a scholarship. That's important when it comes to your senior year. So cost is $35. It's a one-time fee for your student. That covers them for a lifetime. The board handles the $100 registration fee per year. Students must obtain 15 points between leadership and service hours. There's a point rubric. It is available, and if your student qualifies, they must have a 3.0 GPA. They can have a 3.5 or higher, and they will earn a gold status, and then they're available for more scholarships. And that particular honor society is only for color guard students. Now, we also have Tri-M. Tri-M is nationally recognized. We are starting that this year. It is part of the National Association for Music Education. It is the only music honor society for junior, middle school, and high school students in the United States, and there is not currently a chapter here in Jacksonville, unless you are in, I believe, Orange Park. So candidates must be enrolled in school-sponsored music ensemble. That could be chorus, it could be band, it could be musical theater. And candidates must maintain an average from the previous semester of at least an A average in their music classes, with at least a B average grade or equivalent in other academic subjects. Tri-M was started in 1936, and they have a ton, an absolute slew of scholarships that your student is available, or is available to your student. So it starts off with chapter scholarships, it starts off with national scholarships through their Tri-M membership program, and then it gives you a list of scholarships that your students can start applying to as freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. So I encourage your students, if they are highly academically motivated, to please consider this. This is our inaugural year for this, just so you are aware. And now I'll hand it over to Ms. Alice.
All right, so just a couple quick things. We've kind of touched on a lot of them already. Cell phone policy for students, that they should not have their phones out. The students do not want to see their phones. They should not be in the stands with their phones at all. So if they're not answering you, that's why. You have everyone else's phone number. You have mine, you have Heather's. Reach out to someone else. Your kids should not be entering you during any of the competitions or performances. The 3 before me we went over already. The smoking, vaping, and alcohol policy is none. Zip. Not at all. Not allowed for adults, not anywhere around students. They cannot see it, they cannot hear about it, they cannot know it exists because you're doing it. I'm not sure what you mean by apparel.
So we are currently selling last year's show shirt as a vintage shirt. You're welcome to come and grab one. These are great fill-ins when it's laundry day, just so you're aware. We also have the current year show shirt, so you're going to want an extra show shirt for your kid. Friday night, they're going to have a football game. They're going to wear the free show shirt that they get. It's going to be disgusting by the time they get home because they've picked up garbage, they've sweated through this sucker, and they've had an entire show, and then they have a competition the next day. So you want a second show shirt. Please go online at FletcherBands.com and order their second show shirt. We also offer some jackets, and we have some over here for later on tonight. At the very end, you can try on the sizes. You can also order these. They are available on FletcherBand.com. We offer 2 different styles. This is a windbreaker style. It is personalized. You can put up to 2 lines of personalization on it. It is going to have the Fletcher logo on it, and it is going to have whatever you choose. You can be a band mom. You can be a trailer dad. You can put your Instagram handle. We've had kids do that before. So whatever you're interested there. This is just a windbreaker, and it does have a jersey inset. So it's like a t-shirt. We have a little thicker model. This is waterproof. It does have interior pockets on it, and it's lined with fleece. There's a price difference. This is $40-ish, and this is $25-ish. FletcherBand.com will let you order them and personalize them. And Miss Gabby's going to talk to you about these as well.
Okay. I'm going to tell you where to find them on FletcherBand.com. There's 2 places. There's a band member information thing across the info, or across the menu at the top. There's also a spirit shop now, and we have 2 ways that you can get band apparel that's not a show shirt or a jacket. One is Rick in here? Yes. Where is he? Where's Mr. Rick? Oh, he walked out. Okay, so we have a parent that owns a t-shirt shop. Yeah. So if you see somebody with a really cool, like customized Fletcher, like guard mom or whatever, stuff like that, they probably came from this guy. And his daughter Elisa is a senior in the guard. So Ricky's Tees is one place that you can get Fletcher Band apparel. He has some purple Fletcher Band logo t-shirts on hand, like in stock that he's already made, that are available for $20. The band gets $10 of that back. We also have opened like a print-on-demand store. So there's all sorts of different options of things you can buy on the print on demand store, and the band also gets a portion of those. It seems like heinous to hold up a hoodie, but here it is. At some point, your kid's probably already wearing a hoodie every day because they're ridiculous. But anyway, so right now all we have is the band logo. Some of them are all white, some of them are color. They're all in that Spirit Store tab. Both this and the show shirt and the jackets are all on that Spirit Store tab, so you can go there and order those. And we get a little bit of the money. There's pajama pants, there's like a tote bag, there's all sorts of fun stuff in there. So we'll add to that as we go. If you have a great idea for a band t-shirt, come tell me and we'll put it on the store. Okay? Woo! Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Oh, these come directly to you. Jackets will come to the school. The jackets will come to the school.
All right, just one more very important thing to touch on, and we're going to have Mr. Anthony just go on ahead and start walking up here.
All right, so the show, once they start doing it, you see them at the football games during halftime for their competition show. It can absolutely not be shared on social media. Other schools, you know, they know what they're doing. They're looking for cool things that they haven't thought to do yet. So we absolutely cannot be sharing it, posting it on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. That is really, it seems like, well, it's a big deal, but it really is a big deal. We don't want anyone seeing what's going on. If they're that interested, then they can show up and see it themselves. And then just to go back on the smoking, vaping, alcohol is an absolute, it doesn't matter if the kids can't see it, not at all. If you can't go those 5 hours to chaperone without alcohol, you shouldn't be chaperoning. That we need everyone fully ready to handle any and everything that could possibly happen, especially in this heat. And we've got a lot of kids, we've got some that require more than others, so keep your alcohol at home. All right, and then this is it. Okay. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Anthony. He's going to talk about our upcoming hopefully trip.
Okay, can you all hear me without the microphone?
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
I hate it too.
Hi, I'm Anthony Parisi. I'm from Group Travel Network. We have some great news for you. The band this year has been chosen and invited to go to New York City to march in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's a big honor. Yes, it's awesome. So we have been accepted, we have been invited. We are in the planning stages right now. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about tonight are not quite 100% yet. We just had a little meeting beforehand just to kind of iron some things out. I have some work to do next week for you, and then we'll be going forward with this. Okay, approximate dates for the first one, and I can't see. So we are doing March 14th through 18th. That will be spending Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming back Monday for the trip. So 4 nights, and there we go. Okay. How are we getting there? That's number one. So that's the conversation we had today. We are going to try to fly. So everybody, we're all flying. It all matters basically. The pricing is coming out right now where it's about $20,000 to rent one bus to go to New York City, where it's going to probably be about $22,000 for everybody to fly. So does that make sense? Money-wise, it's only a few dollars more to fly. So that's basically what we're working on right now. There's going to be some other logistic things that happen, but I would certainly rather be on a plane than 20 hours on a bus.
Amen. Yes.
Been there, done
So
that.
with that, we're going to be able to check instruments. We'll have, you'll be able to keep with you as carry-on everything up until tenor sax. So flutes, clarinets, all that go in your bag. Trumpets will be able to be up top. Tenor saxes, yes. Some of the bigger instruments, euphoniums, tubas, baritones, things like that, we may have to check. Also part of the logistics that I take care of is I have a lot of friends and clients and things like that up in the New Jersey area where we might be able to borrow some stuff. So we may not have to lug all that. If not, Mr. Darren's going to drive the truck up.
You're paying for gas, that's all that matters.
So we'll work on that. That's going to be an ongoing process. Okay. So first things first is we don't have the specific price on this yet.
Yes.
We are working between the first thought we had was the driving. That came in at about $13.50. We also came in with the flying at the absolute highest price that I can put together, and I do that so when it does come in lower, we can offer you the lower price. Was about $16.50. Yeah, about $16.50. So $300 difference there to get an extra night in New York, not be on a bus for 20 hours, get more see more things, more time in New York, everything like that, and relax and have fun. So, but hopefully what I can do is I can negotiate some things for you through this process to get a lower flight right out of Jacksonville here, you know, or a better hotel at a lower price that sets up anything. That's my job for the next couple of weeks here, to come up with all that stuff and negotiate for you. Okay. First, let me go through my, I got my list here. What we're going to be looking for, though, is a down payment or a deposit on everything by September 1st. I'm going to put in for $150 deposit from each of you. So this is above and beyond the fair share and above and beyond everything we've talked about today. So $150 then, we're going to have a payment plan for each month. Everything needs to be paid off by February 1st of next year. Got it? February 1st? So we have a registration site. We're going to put that up for you in the next couple weeks, or next couple days probably, to get you guys going. You'll sign up on the registration site. You'll pay your deposit. You can make payments on that registration site, or you can fundraise. Once your fair share is done, all your fundraising money can come to us. So Ms. Heather will talk about that a little bit more and how that works. But we have that rolling system. You'll be able to see all your balances. You'll be able to see everything on there. In that system, when you register, they will ask you if you would like to purchase standard trip insurance or enhanced trip protection. The enhanced trip protection allows you to cancel for any reason. So, for example, if grandma gets sick 4 days before the trip and none of you can go, you are going to get a lot of your money back. So everything that we've already put out that we can't give you back, insurance is going to give you back. It's about 7% of the trip. So the price costs about 7% of the trip, and you get about 75% back. So just so you know, you're not getting every penny. That's almost impossible to do, but you know, in this day and age, everybody knows what COVID is. Everybody knows that there might be snags in traveling. So we offer that insurance. We are not an insurance company. It goes through a separate company. We just offer you the ability to buy it through us. Good? Any questions on that real quick? Okay. What's next?
What's next? What about that doesn't accrue?
Oh, yes. With your fundraising, and Heather will talk to you probably more about this in the next, you know, as we go along here. If you are going to be doing a lot of your money for this trip fundraising, we do not put the funds in until we've received a check from the boosters. So you may get to January 30th, and for some reason the money has not gone through, and it looks like you're $1,000 behind. If I don't know that you're fundraising, if Heather doesn't know you're fundraising, if no one knows you're fundraising, you're going to get canceled from the trip because that needs to be there. Communication was key, was up there several times tonight. So if you need to communicate with us and communicate with Heather and say, this is where my funds are coming from, talk to us. But it doesn't hit your account until we get the check from them. So if you do a fundraiser today and it clears out your fair share, you do another fundraiser next week, but they don't send it to us until January, that money doesn't clear to January. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I ask a fun question, does anybody have any financial questions for Mr. Parisi before we move forward to the fun part?
Can we save questions for later?
Sure can, Mr. Salinas. What cool, amazing things do we get to do in New York? 'Cause that's
Cool,
great.
amazing things. So I just got back from New York 4 weeks ago. So if anybody has any concerns about New York, they're unfounded right now. New York is still a wonderful, wonderful place to visit with students. It is safe. However, don't go looking for trouble. Okay? So we have, I'm going to take the elephant in the room part first. There are things that are legal there that are not legal here. There are smells in New York. There are all kinds of people you'll meet in New York. But we have rules for that. Okay? So nobody goes anywhere alone when they're there. Nobody goes, we have security for the nighttime, and we're all walking in groups, okay? We don't go to the parts of New York City that are bad for you, okay? Does that make sense? Put all your minds at ease. However, we will be going to Times Square. We're going to go see a Broadway show. We're going to go see the New York Philharmonic play. We're going to go to Rockefeller Center, St. Patrick's Cathedral, Radio City Music Hall, get a tour of that. There will be some free time in groups with chaperones, not just to wander around the city yourself, but it is the best place in the world to eat. I didn't get this way by not liking to eat, so I can tell you where all the best food is. What we have on the agenda, though, is we are feeding the kids breakfast every morning and dinner, okay? Lunch will be on their own, and on their own means in chaperone groups. Best food in the world in New York. You can get a street meat hot dog up to, some of the best sushi, some of the best dim sum, Little Italy and stuff like that. Everything there, and it's all within subway walking distance, and I will be with you, so I will be able to help you get to places, but I suggest kind of staying in the Midtown area where we are, so, and of course, but. What else have we got? Again, I got some details coming to you in the next couple days now that we've kind of pushed forward on this, including where we're going to be staying, what our time is, how the buses are going to work when we get there. The kids will be staying in quad rooms. That means 4 people in a room, 2 beds in each, okay? And they are not huge rooms, okay? The New York City hotels are very small, so they will be 4 people in 2 beds in a small area. Keep that in mind. We typically don't do kids in doubles or anything like that, but if you want to pay for it, it is an upcharge to think about. And you have to find somebody else to pair with for the other double.
Do I have to stay with the band director in a king-size bed?
Yes, you do.
That happened to me last time.
Stay with Mr. Salinas. I mean, that's up to you.
That's why I drew the short straw last time.
It was a trick question.
He is the big spoon. All right.
Is my kid required to go, Mr. Salinas?
So I know that's a very, very, very important question. I realize that if we don't have the instrumentation we need, then we can't participate in the parade, which is a big driving force for us going. So I highly encourage that everybody take part. It's an awesome opportunity for us. And I know that the fundraising team is offering plenty of opportunities to make sure that your kid can go without any cost to you.
Again, it is an absolute honor to be selected for this and invited. So I suggest the invite is something you take up.
Is there a chaperone limit, or are all parents
Yes.
allowed
So
to
here's the
participate?
deal. I'm going to be your question and answer for chaperones, and I believe we're going to use this as our last question. This is an important question. Our goal is to fill up two buses, possibly 3. We're using buses for the number, even though we're flying, because we want to make sure that we're truly filling that space. So if you are a chaperone, you're a chaperone, and you're watching children. But here's a caveat. If we need extra people to fill up these bus numbers so that we have filled up an airplane and we're getting the best price for our money, if you go, Lee, and your son wants to go, your son is now a chaperone. Any adult on this trip will be a chaperone. You must be background checked. We have asked that you work a minimum of 5 hours somewhere within the program through the fall season. And you must work a minimum of 1 competition, and we have 5 or 6.
10-4. Got it.
Okay? If we have siblings that need to go, siblings will be taken on a case-by-case basis, and Mr. Salinas will make that approval as we go forward. Each person does have to pay their own way. There is no free ride to New York, unfortunately. That includes chaperones, trailer drivers, anybody except the pilot. I mean, he's getting paid to go. So, any other questions I can answer for chaperones? Yes, sir. Yeah.
What if me and her happen to be vacationing at the same place at the same time?
That is
You know what I'm
a
saying?
great question. So unless you anything like that.
Okay, correct.
You are welcome to join us, but unfortunately I can't guarantee you, like for the Ellen's place where we're gonna have dinner one night, we might get a private room. You might not be with us. That's the the only disadvantage.
That's the stinky part. So, yes, Mr. Jacobs.
Uh,
Here's the last question, Mr. Jacobs.
okay.
Everything will be after the children.
You said if the trailer driver goes, I have to pay my own way?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going.
You can take that up as a special circumstance with Mr.
Okay.
Salinas. So if everybody has any other questions?
Okay. I'm sticking around for the performance. I'm the big fat guy in orange.
Yeah, you're gonna be minus the driver.
Any questions? I'll be around.
We're heading to the gym.
Yeah, I got a problem with that.
It's the cost of diesel.
I'll get it. I got a 35%. I'm the new freshman driver, Jeremy.
Darren.
This means remember.
Yeah, my shirts and jackets are all
Heather, is this over?
Yes.